name is Tresha Wilder Johnson, and I'm so excited to be a part of the Orange County Children's Book Festival. Today I'm going to be reading you my book, which is called The Adventures of the Hidden Asthma Triggers. I want to tell you a little bit about why I wrote the book. I wrote the book for my son Savion in my classroom, which I had preschoolers in my classroom, and I wanted to explain to them what asthma triggers are. My son was diagnosed with asthma years ago, and it was pretty devastating to me until he said to me, "Mom, it's okay that I have asthma." And so I decided to write this book to help him to understand what all the triggers are. This book is illustrated by Joel Jackson, and the foreword is by Dr. Douglas McLaughlin of Nationwide Children's Hospital. I want to read you what the doctor said about the book. The diagnosis of asthma can be overwhelming in terms of healthcare dollars spent, hospitalizations, interrupting work, and the number of people affected. But in the eyes of a child, being able to play, sleep at night, and go to school matter most. Savion and his mother Tresha had the initiative to create this children's story based on their experience with asthma. Savion had the courage to accept his diagnosis and reassure his mother, and Tresha had the courage to make her voice heard to other families struggling with asthma. Sometimes that voice can influence other families in ways a medical professional cannot. In this book, children learn that controlling asthma is more than using an inhaler. While taking an imaginative trip through the body's airways, children learn to control and avoid asthma triggers that make their asthma symptoms worse. I am proud of Savion and Tresha for the work they put into this story, and honored to be asked for my medical input. The best asthma care happens when children, parents, schools, healthcare professionals, researchers, and legislators listen to one another. And that's Dr. Douglas J. McLaughlin, MD of Nationwide Children's Hospital. I was really happy that he wrote that. And it's also in memory of my mother, Florian Wilder. She never allowed asthma to stop her from being a remarkable mother, grandmother, bus driver, Sunday school teacher, church usher, and a wonderful listener. All right, and we're going to begin the story. Savion wakes up in the middle of the night, coughing and wheezing. He starts to complain. His chest feels tight and he can't breathe. His mother gives him his rescue inhaler through a spacer to relieve his asthma triggers. She becomes very concerned, then rushes him to the asthma clinic. At the clinic, Nurse Flora X-Ray greets them with her special medical cart full of equipment to search for what is making Savion sick. She uses a thermometer to check his temperature. It seems to be fine. She checks his blood pressure by placing a cuff around his arm. But that's not the cause of him being sick either. What is causing him to be sick? Asks Nurse X-Ray. Finally, she places a stethoscope to his chest and hears a very different sound. Not a heart beating, boom, 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 or a stomach growling, but more like a purring sound coming from inside him. What is that sound I hear? Do you have any pets at home? Asks Nurse X-Ray. Yes, I have a cat named Bubbles. She has been missing for 2 days. I have searched and searched for her. I can't find her anywhere, Savion says. Oh my, I need to get the doctor right away, said Nurse X-Ray. very curious to know what strange sounds are coming from inside his chest. Immediately, Dr. Doug Immune comes into the room. "Hi, Savion. I hear you have very strange sounds coming from inside your chest," said Dr. Immune. Using a stethoscope, Dr. Immune hears a whistling sound called wheezing. Wheezing causes breathing problems. "I must get inside your lungs right away. Nurse X-ray? Prepare my medical lab coat," said Dr. Immune. "How's a medical lab coat going to help me?" asked Savion. "Well, my medical lab coat works something like the body's immune system. I become a human defense system, fighting off all harmful things like triggers, disease, and germs, which cause children like you to become sick. Once my coat is on, it helps me to keep you safe," said Dr. Immune. Nurse X-ray helps you and me by using her special X-ray vision to follow my every move so you can learn what's going on inside of you, said Dr. Immune. "How are you going to get inside?" asked Savion. "I'm going in with the air through your respiratory system. When you breathe, air goes through your nose and mouth down into your lungs," said Dr. Immune. "Now open up your mouth real wide and take 2 deep breaths," said Nurse X-ray. Something magical happens when Savion closes his eyes and inhales. Dr. Immune begins to shrink, shrink, and shrink. Then just like that, the air takes Dr. Immune into Savion's mouth. "Hold on tight. There he goes down the windpipe," said Nurse X-ray. "What is a windpipe?" asked Savion. "A windpipe is a breathing tube inside your neck and chest that carries air down to your lungs," said Nurse X-ray. Savion looks through the X-ray vision and says, "Wow, is there a tree in my chest?" "Those are your lungs. Lungs are shaped like an upside down tree with branches. You have a right lung and a left lung. The left lung is bigger than the right lung. This allows room for your heart. We are thankful for our lungs. They keep us breathing. We must protect and keep them safe," explains Nurse X-ray. The more Savion inhales or takes air in, the more the air pushes Dr. Immune to the large airways called the bronchi. The large airways have a very important job of passing air through your lungs. Once the large airways become swollen and narrow, it makes breathing very hard and tough for air to get in and out of the lungs. This can cause an asthma attack. "How does an asthma attack start?" asked Savion. "Good question," said Nurse X-ray. "Triggers start asthma attacks. Triggers are different things that cause the lungs to overreact, making the airways smaller. You might start to cough and wheeze, breathe hard, or feel tightness in your chest. Knowing what triggers your asthma and keeping those triggers away are very important for your lungs. Dr. Immune is going to remove triggers so you can breathe, feel better, and get back to normal. He will also prescribe medication to help keep your airways open and healthy, said Nurse X-Ray. Do you guys see Dr. Immune in the lungs? He's way down here. Let's see what he's going to find. As the air splits in different directions, Dr. Immune bounces back and forth into the right lung. Once Dr. Immune entered, he smells smoke. Smoke in the lungs? Wow. Then quickly noticed the thick cloud of smoke which fills the lung. Dr. Immune knows he needs to clear the smoke before the tiny hairs called cilia that wave back and forth to protect the lungs from harmful things like triggers. So he blows again, then pushes the smoke down into the trigger bag. He closes it tightly before it causes any harm to the lungs. Just then, a black hairy patch of mold passes by. Dr. Immune knows he needs to catch that mold because it's very dangerous to the lungs. The mold tries to get away, but Dr. Immune is so fast, he quickly removes the mold by stuffing it in his bag. In the corner of his eye, he sees a shadow of something following him. He turns around to see what it is. It's a can of cleaning spray. Catch that spray. If it is inhaled, it will release dangerous toxic fumes into the lung, cried Nurse X-Ray. He quickly catches the spray and puts a lid on it. Whew, says Dr. Immune. What a relief. Before he can rest, the common cold virus starts attacking and causes a buildup of mucus. Mucus is a clear, slimy fluid that protects the mucous membranes. Mucus helps keep the lungs clean, but too much mucus could cause swelling. This makes it extra hard to breathe. Dr. Immune begins to fight the common cold with lots of tissues. He gets control of the cold, but the mucus pushes him into the left side of the lung where the purring sound is coming from. The further and further he goes down into the lungs, the smaller and smaller the airways become. Being bronchiolitis or small airways, he starts to search for the purring sound. But grass and weeds are growing out of control. Grass and weed allergens make breathing hard, so he cuts them all down and rakes them into his bag. After he cuts down the grass and weeds, he sees cockroaches crawling. He knows the body of cockroaches cause asthma symptoms. Dr. Immune goes to step on those cockroaches when he hears meow, meow, meow. Moving toward the sound, he sees millions of tiny clusters shaped like honeycombs called the air sacs. Air sacs or alveoli are located at the end of the lung where the exchange of air and gases take place. Finding that sound could take days or even weeks, thinks Savion. Nurse X-Ray, with her special vision, helps to find what's making that sound. I see something brown and furry, like a hairball. It's stuck in your air sac. The danger could be causing you to get sick. Dander is skin flakes from an animal's fur, said Nurse X-Ray. Dr. Amu pulls and pulls on that brown furry hairball until it's untangled. Plop! Out comes Bubbles, Savion's missing cat. There's a cat in my lungs? Cried Savion. Yes, it's Bubble, cried Savion's mother. Dr. Amu quickly puts Bubbles inside his bag. He runs past a million of tiny clusters shaped like honeycombs called alveoli. He climbs up his way, the small airways called the bronchioles. He hops his way through the large airways called the bronchi. Then he crawls his way up the windpipe to Savion's nose. Savion sneezes. Shoo! Along with all the wasted air, out comes Dr. Amu, the cloud of smoke, the hairy mold, the toxic cleaning spray, the common cold with tissues, raked up grass and weeds, the crawling cockroaches, and Bubbles, Savion's missing cat, all running down Savion's nose. What a relief! All asthma triggers have been released out of Savion's lungs. Dr. Amu quickly gives Savion an asthma action plan to help keep him safe. He warns him some asthma triggers can't be avoided, like the weather changes, pollen, cold, sickness, dust, and triggers from exercise. He tells Savion to take his prescribed medication, just like the doctor orders. This will help keep the airways open so he can breathe comfortably. Savion and his mother have a very long talk about asthma. Savion says to his mother, "It's okay that I have asthma. Don't worry, Mom. I will be okay. I can still play and have a nice day." Savion makes his mother feel at ease. She allows him to return to his favorite game of baseball. At the field to cheer him on are his mother, Nurse Floor X-Ray, and Dr. Doug Amu. The end. This is me, and then this is the illustrator, Joel Jackson. And for the acknowledgments, I would like to thank Dr. Doug Amu of Nationwide Children's Hospital for being a great doctor to my son, Savion. For the countless times you read the story, making sure I added the correct lung facts. Your expertise on asthma and support for this book is greatly appreciated. Thank you. I would like to thank my beautiful 6 children for your love and your support. I would like to give a big thank you to Miss Blackburn for helping and being a part of my writing journey, for the smiles and the words of encouragement. Thank you. Tanya Withers, President and CEO of Allergy and Asthma Network, Mothers of Asthmatics. Thank you for allowing Savion and I to join you in telling our story on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. during the National Day of Asthma. Thank you for your extraordinary work that you do. And to Joel Jackson, my favorite illustrator, thank you for your brilliant illustrations. They brought my words to life. And to Savion, asthma can't stop you. You can run, jump, and hop, all to the moon. Thank you all for listening to my story. If you have any questions or would like more information about my books, please send me an email at johnsontresha@yahoo.com. Also, you can find my book on Amazon. You can find this book at barnesandnobles.com. And thank you so much to the Orange County Children's Book Festival for allowing me to be a part of your book festival this year. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day.